Welcome to the Steve Stine Guitar Podcast, brought to you by GuitarZoom.com. If you want to improve your guitar playing, keep listening. If you want to improve even faster, go to GuitarZoom.com, where you'll find all of Steve's premium courses, masterclasses, and memberships that'll help you quickly and easily improve your playing. Now here's your host, Steve Stine.
Here's a pretty cool way of being able to fingerpick your way through a 12-bar blues sequence in the key of E. I'll show you some tricks here that we're going to use. We're going to be using the thumb first and second to do the picking here. And basically what we're going to be doing, we're going to start off on an E power chord, and we're going to separate the bass note from the fifth and fourth strings, and I'm plucking those fifth and fourth strings with my first and second fingers. Kind of get an old school blues sound there. Then I'm going to add in a lick. So I'm adding in right there, I'm going from the 3 to the 4, third to fourth fret with my middle and third fingers. Now after I do that, I'm going to go back to these two strings on the fifth and fourth strings on the second fret here. Okay. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to head over and I'm going to pluck the 5 of the fifth string here with my pinky, and then the 2, which is still part of that bar that I'm doing right here. So you hear both notes at the same time. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back to the 0 in between. And then as that's happening, then I'm moving to the fourth fret of the fifth string with my ring finger, still have this bar down. I'm going to pluck both those strings at the same time again. So I have. And then I'm going to go back to the 2 twos here at the end. So I have. That's how the pattern goes over all 3 chord changes. Although there is some subtlety that I want to explain to you. So I have. Now, what I'm going to transfer from the E to the A, when I'm going to change chords from the E chord to the A chord, because it's kind of cruising along here, what I use as a cheater is open strings. So when I'm ready to move from the E chord to the A chord, and when I get to the A chord, I'm going to do the exact same thing. Just one string higher, right? So when I get to that A, I'm doing exactly the same thing as E. Same exact thing. But when I move between them, instead of playing these 2 twos at the end, I'm just going to play some zeros, which gives me a chance to move. So watch this. I'll do this nice and slow. Here it comes. Right there. That's going to give me a chance to reposition. Then I'm going to do the same thing here. Right there, I'm going to pluck these open third and fourth strings, and then I'm going to transition back.
If you're enjoying this episode and you'd like to support the podcast, go to GuitarZoom.com and consider becoming a premium member. There are 3 memberships to choose from. VIP, which gives you instant access to a library of short but powerful courses as well as new bite-sized lessons each month. There's also Play Songs that gives you step-by-step lessons so you can learn to play your favorite songs fast. And finally, there's Masterclass, university-level training on everything from soloing to music theory, from blues to home recording. For more info about these memberships and all the premium courses available to you, go to GuitarZoom.com. Now back to the podcast.
Now, when I do it fast, you really don't notice it, and if you do notice it, it just sounds musical. Watch this. See, you don't really notice it, and even if you do, again, it sounds fine. So that's a nice little cheater that gets you from one chord to the next. So as the speed increases, you give yourself a little breath in between there to change. Now, the weird chord to do this over is the 5 chord or the B chord. Because we don't have enough fingers, so what we're going to do here is instead of trying to go to an open string, which we don't have, we're going to play these, and then we're going to shift up, and we're just going to simplify it. So we're going to go, we've got our little hammer on, just like this. We're going from 5 to 6 on the 5th string. And then I'm going to these middle 2 strings at the 4th fret. And then here, I'm just playing those middle 2 strings the entire time. Okay, instead of trying to go off to an open string that I don't have. And then A. And again, at the end, if I don't have time, I'm just going to go open. And then I switch down. And then I just ended on a B7. However you'd like. So let me play the whole thing nice and slow for you. Remember those open strings. Here comes my transition. So right there, I can hit any of these strings open, just something open to give me a chance. Open again. Sorry. I'm thinking about the next one coming. I'm playing slow here. So then I go to the 5. And then the A. Open. Because I'm switching back, right? So again, as I play it faster now, you're going to get the feel of this. That open, which gives me a chance to shift. Here it is. Shift. And there, I can do 2 different things. I can go and then shift up like this, or sometimes what I like to do, I might slide from 5 to 6. Or again, for you, the key is which one is more comfortable for you. Or, then I got to get back down to A, and then back to the E, and I'm going to use that little open thing there. Now, you don't have to use the open strings like I'm doing. It's just a little idea, a little cheer if you've never done that before. If you're playing it really slow, you probably don't need to do that. But as it gets faster, sometimes your fingers will kind of fumble over each other, or it'll sound very robotic, trying to wait till the very last second to shift. So what players do a lot of times is you just add those open strings in to try and make things sound a little bit more smooth and a bit more organic. Next time on the Steve Stine Guitar Podcast. All right, now we've learned how to play bar chords on the 6th string and the 5th string. So the next thing we want to talk about is another kind of chord, which we refer to as a power chord. Now, a power chord is a different kind of chord because it's kind of, it's a guitar-only style chord. Like, you don't really hear piano players talking about a power chord or something like that. And basically what it is because the guitar is built the way it is and tuned the way it is, what we can do is take a bar chord, let's say a 6-string bar chord, for instance, right? So let's say I go to G. Okay, and there's G major, and there's G minor, and let's say I just wanted to play a power chord. What a power chord is not allowing the chord to sound major or minor. And if you think about it, that transition happens right here on the 3rd string, right? Because that's where the major or the minor sound comes from. So with a power chord, we don't want to strum this 3rd string and get the major sound or the minor sound. We don't want either one of those things. So what we do is instead, we don't strum it. And as a result of that, we don't strum any of the other strings underneath it either. We just strum the top 2 or 3 strings. Now let me show you and explain to you why I'm saying 2 or 3 strings. Hey, Steve Stine here from GuitarZoom.com, and thank you so much for listening to this podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, can I ask you a favor? Please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with a friend. Your feedback means more to me than you'll ever know. And be sure to check out my YouTube channels where you'll find over 1,000 videos to help you with your guitar playing. Thanks again for listening. Stay positive, keep playing, and keep having fun.
If you'd like some help with your guitar playing but you're not sure how to get started, go to GuitarZoom.com and look for the Help Me Choose survey. By answering a few simple questions, you'll get Steve's personal recommendation of the perfect course for you. All this and more is available for you at GuitarZoom.com.